Motivation, motivation, motivation. Get motivated, stay motivated, be active, be proactive, be very positive about everything. Wake up in the morning ready to hit the ground running. Always be prepared and raring to go to meet the challenges of the day and of life. Motivation seems to be the buzzword these days, and people casually and conveniently talk about it as if it is an over-the-counter bottle of vitamins. Obtain, consume, and absorb all its magical powers all of a sudden and let it embrace you and work its magic on you, just like that. And you are suddenly capable, competent, and driven to do what your task requires of you. Well, today I'm going to do a little myth busting about motivation, which is undeniably a wonderful thing once it has happened to you. But the first question is, how do you get motivation to suddenly embrace you and happen to you, to help you take your game to the next level? Well, allow me to clarify that motivation doesn't happen out of nothingness. It is not a startup kit that will launch you on your journey. Motivation is a byproduct of effort. Motivation is an incentive and reward that you get after you have already launched yourself and started off on your journey of toil and labor and struggle and strife and endeavor. And once you have already disciplined yourself to do what is required of you, you will find motivation in small gifts and parcels along your journey next to every milestone that you achieve. Yes, you heard me right. The truth number one about motivation is that it is just a beautified, glorified, and dramatized name for self-discipline. Exactly, good old self-discipline. And what is self-discipline? No secret about it. It is denying yourself the luxury of rest and relaxation and slumber and inertia because you have to respond to the call of duty. So if you have that power, that willpower within yourself to say no to what you'd rather do and what you feel like doing, and respond to the call of responsibility and duty and just get up and shake the inertia and shake the laziness and lethargy of yourself and get up and get moving. Put on your running shoes and get to work. That's self-discipline for you. And that is going to start you off. And once you've already progressed, you will get motivation as a result and as your first dose of success. Yes, that's the truth, the exact truth and nothing but the truth about motivation. So remember, you will get motivation after success, after effort, after progress, and not before. Motivation is a consequence of effort, not a cause of effort, not an initiating process, not a prerequisite, not something that will happen to you first to spur you on your journey. Rather, you will find it once through self-discipline and training. You will only be able to acquire and obtain and taste it in small, repetitive, or rather I should say recurrent doses of success after you've already started off on your journey. And what will actually start you off is not very dreamy or poetic or floral and fragrant. That is very realistic and very rigorous. That is training and self-discipline and just saying no to luxury and not thinking of pleasure all the time and trying not to mix business with pleasure. Just thinking, this is the need of the hour and this is what I need to do right now, regardless of what I want to do. So train yourself and teach your children and your students or any other young adults around you that in order to be successful in your field of work, in your line of work, whatever that may be, Do not wait for the glorified version of motivation to happen to you. Just take charge and control of your habits and your timetable and your daily routine, and just start your work in spite of how you're feeling, in spite of the late night you had last night, in spite of whatever your emotional baggage is that particular morning, in spite of who said what, in spite of who did what, in spite of what they are thinking, in spite of what you're feeling, in spite of everything, do what is needed. Quickly recapping your takeaway message from today's video. Number 1, motivation comes after success and not before. Number 2, motivation is not a cause, it is an effect. It is not a prerequisite, it is an incentive that you get after you've started to succeed. It is not a precedent or an initial startup procedure. It is the sense of attainment and sense of accomplishment and sense of achievement that you will get after you are doing well. Number 3, motivation is simply another name for self-discipline and denying yourself the luxury and pleasure of going on and on with your inertia and with your rest and recreation and relaxation, and always staying aware, alert, and awake to the call of duty and responsibility. Because those who train themselves rigorously to do what is needed at the right time, they achieve success. And then later on, when we see them emerge on the horizon as one of the successful leaders of their field, we say, oh, how motivated and how naturally talented and how gifted and how automatically charged and positive and proactive those people are. There is nothing fancy and fantastic about all such successful people. It is just that sometimes the greatest leaders of the world didn't have the choice to go for luxury, to go for the convenient option, to go for rest and recreation and relaxation, and opt for the easy way out of their life circumstances and challenges, and they had to rise above themselves. They had to rise above what they wanted to do or felt like doing. They had to rise above and out of their comfort zone and give their best performance. And because they had to do it, and they did it, they became successful, and that drill trained them into how to be the exact kind of person in mind, body, spirit, and intention. Into being the exact kind of person in mind, body, spirit, and intention that success and opportunity is looking for. So, be disciplined, take charge of yourself, respond to your responsibilities, be as aware and awake to the reality and facts of your life and each working day as you can. And I'd like to conclude by quoting Shakespeare from one of his plays. Some men are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Take your pick. Thank you.